So difficult sometimes to get comfortable. The headset, the glasses, and the hat all on at the same time. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. I hope you're having a wonderful day. I trust that you are. Yeah, sometimes the polls can be hard. And actually, if you think it was hard, if you think it's hard to vote on the poll, it was hard for me to decide who to put on the poll because when I started to make the poll at first, if you guys are wondering what I'm talking about the poll in the live chat right now. I'm asking about new emojis for my memberships. As my memberships grow on my channel, I can add more emojis, custom emojis of the players. And I started to create my list of players for the emojis, and I realized that two of the players are not active right now. And I thought, what's the point in having an emoji for a player who's not even in the game or is not going to be in the game for 3-4 weeks or more? You know, I really want to make one for Jake Myers, and he was originally on this list, but then I realized he might not be back for several weeks. So why make an emoji for him if he's not going to be back? You know what I'm saying? So Dubin, I guess you mean Dubon. Um, I even thought about putting Bryce Matthews on here, but there are a couple of things about Bryce Matthews. Bryce Matthews is just too new. Even though he's doing a really good job, there are other players that I feel that are higher on the list of deserving and needing emojis on my channel. I wanted to put a couple of pitchers on there, but since we've already got the new Framber Valdez, that's the newest one, the Frambergler. That's the newest emoji. So I decided let's put three fielders, three position players on there, and one pitcher. And of course, Hunter Brown came to mind. I do have I'll show you guys in a second, actually. Let me get the game loaded up here. I'm having to use my alternate internet connection today. The reason for that is because Starlink has, for those of you who use Starlink or are familiar with it or have heard the news, Starlink had a massive outage. It's not just me. I thought maybe it was just my area or something, but that's incorrect. It's not just me. It's not just my area. It's tens of thousands of people, actually, who don't have a Starlink internet connection at this moment. Don't know what's going on exactly. All I know is they say they're trying to fix it. That's literally all I know. So right now I'm having to use an alternate internet connection. I hope it works out. It should. I've tested it. I've done everything I can to get a good connection. First pitch from Alexander's on the way around the outside edge, strike one. I've had to shuffle some things around, and it's been a challenge to get everything started on time today. Here comes the next pitch, low and outside, ball one. The count's even. Jason Alexander, a former Athletic, is on the mound. You see, as I got some stuff on the screen that's kind of in the way. Ooh, swing and a miss. Look at this. I just realized that the game highlight window, this is hit over onto the right side. That's going to be an infield base hit for Schumann. Dubon cannot handle it and get it over to first base. Where's my game highlight window? All of my stuff on my screen has been shuffled around and moved so much today. I'm still trying to get it in order, but there it is. Okay, it's kind of in order now. Strike one on a foul ball to Nick Kurtz. Nick Kurtz at the plate for the A's. Just a little outside. Ball one. The count's 1-1. Runner on first with no outs. Sean Dubin. Sean Dubin is a pitcher for the Astros. Yeah, that's right. This is hit out into left center field all the way out to the wall. Trammell is back, and he catches it right at the wall, and he'll throw it in. Schumann will stay on first base, but what a drive by Kurtz. The Tram takes care of it. Next batter is Britt Rooker. Here comes the first pitch. Right in there, strike one, 90-mile-per-hour stinker. This is fouled down the third baseline. 0-2 is the count against Rooker. One out, runner on first. Altuve's in left field today. Trammell in center. Cam Smith in right. So Altuve and Smith are back in the game today. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. Rooker takes that off the plate. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Oh, okay. Thank you for letting me know, Brendan. I think I know why. There's a strikeout right there. Change up. Hang on a second. Let me see if I can give you no, there's no replay right now. I know why. Thank you for telling me that. I know why that is. I know why that is. I can fix it. I forgot about that. There's something else I need to activate right quick. Where is it? 1 second, guys. The next batter is Tyler Soderstrom. He's at the plate. Ball one. I think I got it solved. 1 second. 1 second. Two balls and no strikes. That next pitch is right in the bottom of the zone for strike one. 2-1. There we go. Sorry about that. My API was not activated. Here comes the 2-1 pitch. Woo! That was clearly on that lower inside corner, but called ball 3. 3-1 is the count. Brendan, thank you so much for letting me know about that. It's very, very tiny on my screen, but my API was not running. It's one of the things I have to turn on every day. It's a JavaScript linked file. I have to connect to a server to pull the API live from the MLB site in order to populate the information on my screen, and that wasn't turned on. I appreciate that. That's very helpful. This is hit to the right side. Walker's going to grab it and step on the base for out number 3. So 1 hit given up in the first inning by Alexander, but otherwise We're good to go. 4 up and 3 down. No runs for the White Elephants. I enjoyed looking up the history of the elephant for the A's. Mm. 1 second, everyone. I'm gonna go in here right quick and grab myself my hot water and make a fresh cup of coffee. Be right back and Geaux Stros. Hot water get. Out with the old, in with the new, baby. Have you guys ever read... Well, let me get my headset on here. You guys ever read any Stephen King? When I was growing up, I used to read a lot of Stephen King because my brother started getting a lot of those, and he just leave them lying around when he was finished with them. My mom and dad never read anything like that, so they didn't have any idea the kind of stuff that was in there. But you know, he's written several short stories, and there was one I read where there was a guy like on a desert island that was kind of trapped there by himself, and he, as he's dealing with everyday life and trying to take care of himself or whatever, he gets injured, and he's like a doctor or something. He starts using his scalpels and stuff to take his own body parts off and eat them. and before he eats, he says, "Good food, good drink, good God, let's eat." Did any of you ever read that? Yeah, that's right. Connie Mac's White Elephant. It was a pretty interesting historical read, Max. Got to refresh the screen here. The MLB site doesn't work very well if your connection's not phenomenal. What I've done is try to set up my connection, my Wi-Fi connection, to have the best possible location as possible. The tram is at the plate. He takes that pitch off the plate. The count is now 2-2. For those of you who use the MLB site, sometimes you just see that if you don't have a good connection, then sometimes you'll see that starting shortly screen come up, and that's what I just had. Next pitch is hit to the right side. Trammell's got a base hit. Okay, guys. All right. Caratini's at the plate. I apologize for that. Like I said, I'm dealing with the internet connections issues, but I'm back over on Starlink now. It seems like it is working again, but my camera is frozen. Let me see if I can find where's my camera? There it is. Can I refresh it? Yeah, that's my laptop cam right there. Okay, should be back. Okay, guys. Tram is on first base with 1 out. The Batman Caratini is at the plate. I am now back on my Starlink connection. It seems that it is back up, so let's hope it remains so. I apologize for the delay and the issues. Trammell is stealing second base. It looks like he is in there. All right. Second stolen base of the season for Trammell. The ball was in the dirt, it looks like. How about that? Good hustle. Runner on second with 1 out. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Caratini. I really want to get caught up on these live chat comments. I see a lot there, guys. Guys and gals, I'm not missing it. It's just the internet issue and stuff on screen going crazy. 98 miles an hour right in there. Caratini takes it for strike 3, unfortunately. Severino picks up a K. Today's been a strange day everywhere. You know, a lot of technology has not been working today. I don't know if you guys noticed that or not, but ChatGPT was down at the same time that Starlink was down, and I couldn't get a really good connection through my mobile. First pitch to Christian Walker is a ball, 1-0. 16 pitches now for Severino. Trammell is on second base in scoring position. Can Walker bring him home? Let's see. He hits it up the middle, right to the pitcher, who lobs it over to first base. Out number 3. So Walker grounds out, but at least he gets the wood on the leather. 1 hit for the Astros. Same exact result as the A's. They get a guy on with 1 hit, but nothing comes of it. All right, but it seems like everything is smooth now. It seems so. But there were several things that happened today. It wasn't just ChatGPT. There's a new mode for those of you who don't know this, but on ChatGPT there's a new mode where you can actually get it to open its own browser, and it can research online and do tasks for you. And I tried it out for the first time. It's really, really amazing. I wanted it to do some research on a high-fat diet, basically for melting away visceral fat. You know, all the fat that's like inside your body right here, inside your torso and around your organs and stuff. That stuff is really difficult to get rid of. But with a high-fat keto diet, you can melt it super fast. And I wanted it to do some extensive research and compile some affordable, simple things that I could do every day in order to melt that off and decrease that as quickly as possible. There are several reasons why, but of course the main reason is for health. It's also supposed to help with cancer and tumors and things like that. But because of the tumor that I have, my blood flow is not good, and I'm at risk of blood clots. And so I'm trying to decrease that risk and improve my blood flow, which will also actually increase my energy, and my anemia will improve and get better. So it spent like 25 minutes researching that independently on the internet and then compiled a document for me. It was really, really cool. But all of that stuff, all of ChatGPT and the internet and everything was down this morning, and I had a terrible connection with my local phone carrier, even though I have the unlimited data plan. It seemed like and then even my software was all out of whack. Everything was out of whack this morning. It's like everything got scrambled. It's very weird. First pitch was fouled off by Shea Langoliers. That second pitch, a little generous by the umpire on the outside edge, but it goes in Alexander's favor. No balls and 2 strikes. We are in the top of the second. Alexander facing Langoliers. Here's the pitch. Way outside, ball 1. 1-2. I guess the Swiffer was worth a shot, but too far outside to be competitive. Here's the 1-2. Swing and a miss there. 80 miles an hour on the changeup. Alexander gets himself a K. Evil looking changeup. Here comes Lawrence Butler at the plate. A little outside, ball 1. Lawrence Butler has got to be the most disrespectful player as far as the way he dresses. You look at his image on the screen. Look at his profile picture on the screen. The word that comes to mind is frumpy. 2 balls and no strikes. Second pitch is out of the zone. Also, look at his shirt on the screen if you can see it. Inside strike called on that sinker. Yeah, here it is. Look at his shirt. He's got his shirt completely unbuttoned down, like halfway down his torso. Here comes the 2-1 pitch. Way outside. 3 balls and 1 strike. Here's the next toss. Swing and a miss. Another strike on the changeup. It's 3 balls and 2 strikes now. That changeup is looking really good for Alexander. Here comes the full count pitch. Right in the bottom of the zone. Fouled off. Little foul tip there. Count remains 3-2. Guys, we're only about 13 subscribers away from 800. Thank you so much. That's freaking awesome. The data suggests that by the end of the season, the channel should be at least at 1,500 subscribers. That pitch is too far inside. Lawrence Butler walks with 1 out. That's the first walk given up by Alexander. But if the Astros go deep in the playoffs, which I believe they can, and I believe they will, might go over 2,000 subs. That'd be awesome. This first pitch is hit high into the air by Carlos Cortez and into the crowd for strike 1. Yeah, you're right, DeLion. I agree. The tram emoji would be hilarious. That's what I was thinking. That's why I put him on there. I'd love to have a tram. The tram, baby. 0-1 pitch. Just a little outside. 1-1. Jordan says, Cam reminds me of Altuve. Just happy to be playing. Dubon and the others are also happy to play like kids. I want to keep Altuve around this team for the next 40 or 50 years. He's contagious. Yes, I agree. Absolutely. Here's the next pitch, the 1-1. Outside again. 2 balls and 1 strike to Cortez. Top of the second, one out. Runner on first. Swing and a miss on that lower outside pitch. Another changeup swing and miss. Man, that changeup is looking nice so far today. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Jordan, have fun mowing your yard there. I was cutting mine yesterday. Here's the pitch. Runner goes. Here's the throw. In the dirt. Goes into center field. Crawford is going to get up and go to third. He's going to get to third, so it's going to be an error. Caratini tried to throw it from his knees, made a bad throw. It wasn't handled well. You can see right here. Yeah, short couldn't grab it on the short hop. Didn't look too difficult to grab. He should have had that. Wasn't a great throw by Caratini, but I think he could have caught it at least. He was so focused on trying to do the catch and tag that he didn't focus on catching the ball. Full count with 1 out. Crawford on third now. This is going to go into center field. Trammell comes over, makes the catch. Here comes the tag and throw. All the way home. Not in time. Butler. I called him Crawford. Lawrence Butler scores on the tag. It's 1-0 A's. By the way, they just showed an interesting statistic on the screen. This is the 15th straight game that the Astros have allowed the other team to score first. That means that all of the Astros wins over the last 15 games have been comebacks. First batter to face after that is Gio Urshela. Cortez flies out with the sacrifice. 2 away. Here comes a 1-0 pitch. Right in the top of the zone, strike 1. The count is even. Crispy says that John Singleton is our friend and we can win this game with the power of friendship. This is hit out in a left field. Another hit, a single. Altuve brings it in. Urshela gets on with a single. That's the second hit of the game for the A's. So this inning they have a walk and a single, a stolen base with an error, and a sacrifice fly. Standard small ball baseball, right? Arias comes to the plate. Strike 1 on the sinker. 0-1 is the count. Here comes the 0-1. Grounded to the right side. Walker picks it up and sends it to Alexander, who covers the bag for out number 3. 2 hits and 1 run so far for the A's. No errors. Astros have an error already. And 1 hit, no runs. 1-0. So we're going to have to come back again. Texas Dave mentions Brandon Walter. Yeah, Brandon Walter is he's really come along. Chris says Cam's a cutie. It comes from being only 22. I know what you're talking about there. Well, Jordan, I wouldn't say he was completely swinging wildly. I wouldn't agree with that. If you go back to the beginning of Bryce Matthews' start with the Astros, he was swinging and missing everything. And then there was this time where he started to improve and get some contact, and then suddenly he has kind of blown it up. So I see clear progression, improvement. So I can't agree that he's still swinging wildly at everything. To me, that's not the truth. I mean, I know it's perspective. It's your perspective, and I respect that. But since I watch every single game, I've seen every single at-bat so far of Bryce Matthews. And from what I can tell, from my perspective, he has been steadily improving. So where he's at right now is not surprising. It's just natural progression. All right. First at-bat for Cam Smith in just a second. They are showing some Astros highlights of Doobie for some reason. Cam Smith is at the plate. First pitch has been delivered. And it was a ball. Second pitch is fouled off for strike one. They're so busy showing Dubon highlights for some reason that I can't get any information about what's going on at the plate. Come on, let's focus on the game, people. Here's a 1-1 pitch. Fouled off. 1-2 to Cam. Cam has been really cold since the All-Star break. Really cold. Ice cold. 3 for 25. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. Woo, man. Barely outside. Could have been strike 3, but luckily the umpire called it right. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Yes, that's right. A Doobie reference. DeLine, thanks for putting that in my head. I'll think about it. Fouled off. What I would like to do is do a Mauricio Dubon, Scooby-Doo, Doobie reference all together. I'm going to see what the AI can come up with for that. That'd be hilarious. 2 balls and 2 strikes to crank it up Cam. Here comes the pitch from Severino. Ripped foul. Right above the dugout. Almost taking off heads in the Astros dugout. Man, those are your teammates. Those are your friends. You got to be good to your friends. Here comes the 2-2 count. Check swing on the inside. Did he go? No, he did not. Thought for a second he foul tipped that one, but luckily he did not because it was caught by the catcher. Hey, guys, John Singleton is on deck. Here's the next pitch to Cam Smith. Strikeout in the bottom of the zone. Cam Smith continues to struggle since the All-Star break. Take a look at this. He just took it. Got to swing at that. John Singleton, guys. Big John Singleton batting 6th in this lineup. 87 miles an hour right in the bottom of the zone. With Sugarland Cowboys right now, he's batting .254 with 4 home runs. He hasn't been back very long. He had a 2 home run game recently. He fouls that one off. No, that's fair on the left side. But Severino's able to get over there in time to throw him out. But that was an almost opposite field, infield hit. But Severino was able to get over there quickly. Kind of a cue ball shot on the left side of the field. Big swing, but just tapped it on the left side. So good play by Severino to get over there and get it. Out number 2. Speaking of Doobie, we were just talking about Doobie's emoji. Scooby Doobie comes to the plate. Here's the first pitch. Outside, ball 1. Here comes the next toss. On that outside edge, strike 1, 1-1. Yeah, you're right, Crispy. Walter doesn't allow many walks, and he keeps the ball in the park. Those are 2 very important things. Fouled off. Hey, old dog. Welcome in. Good to see you here. One ball and 2 strikes with that foul off. Dubon at the plate with 2 outs and nobody on. Here's the toss. In the bottom of the second, fouls it off. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The count remains. Yeah, Max, we got them right where we want them. Now that they have a run and we have none, our plan is unfolding perfectly. Excellent. Holy cow, old dog. 11-1. 11-1. That's nuts. Toronto's beating Detroit 11-1. Ball outside, 98-mile-per-hour fastball. The count's even, 2-2. 2-2 with 2 outs in the second. Juan says, we want Pena bake. I think you mean back, but that's kind of funny. Maybe Pena baking. Ooh, 96 outside. Dubon's chatting with him about it and kind of laughing. It was at least an inch, if not an inch and a half out of the zone. But you know what they say, and you know what I always say, if you got 2 strikes and it's anywhere near the zone, you gotta swing. You gotta swing. No reason to be arguing with the ump about that. But, Dubon wasn't really arguing. He was chatting with him about it. He seemed cordial. Typical Doobie style. Typical Doobie style. 95 people. We're on a break now. The bottom of the second is wrapped up. We're going into the top of the third in just a moment. Jason Alexander will be back on the mound. He's currently at 38 pitches. A little high at the moment. Hopefully he can get that down. He's not having a bad game. He does have 1 earned run already. But I wouldn't say that that's all on him. Whoa! My coffee overfloweth. Whoa! Sorry for the big slurping sounds. In Japan, nobody would care. If you have some nice ramen noodles, some nice soup, hot soup, and you slurp it like that, it's all good. Nobody cares. I put way too much hot water into my coffee filter here, and it overflowed a wee bit, but it's all good. Problem solved. Crispy, you're right. Can't take a pitch like that. Cam Smith struck out looking. Doobie struck out looking. Oh my! Why are they wearing ugly sweaters? Oh, it must be because of the bobblehead. It's the Altuve ugly sweater. Very first pitch is grounded to Bryce Matthews, who lobs it over to first base. Did the runner even go? Did Schumann even run? I think Schumann didn't even run. How can they be wearing these? It's so hot. How can they be wearing these sweaters right now? As soon as they take the camera off, I'm sure that they're removing them. Next batter is Nick Kurtz. Takes that first pitch right in there for strike 1. 1 away. Happy Friday to you, Daniel. Next pitch is in the dirt for ball 1. 1-1 is the count. Yeah, Brendan, their pitcher record doesn't necessarily mean everything. I would want to look at the stats, That's hit out to left field for a base hit. Altuve brings it in, and Nick Kurtz is on first base. He's 1 for 2 today with a single. Hey, Fox at Bat, good to see you. Thanks for being here. Got some of my members in the chat. The Lion, Fox at Bat, Old Dog. Brent Rooker at the plate. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss, 78-mile-per-hour changeup. Good toss. 0-1 is the count. Well, old dog, I don't believe that, but they also showed their correspondent who's sitting on the field. It's definitely not cold enough in Dykeen Park. That's hit to the right side. That's going to be a single and runners on the corners for the A's. Man, 4 hits now for the A's. 2 opposite field hits back to back. One by the lefty and now one by the righty. Walker tried to get to it and just kind of fell down like an old man. I don't know why. Kurtz is easily able to move over to third base. We have runners on the corners with 1 out. Man, the A's are looking like they came to win in Houston. Scary. I'm shaking in me boots, I am. Caratini's behind the plate for the Astros today. He came out on the mound and yelled a few things to Alexander. I don't know what that's about, but whatever. This is a fly ball in the infield. Short puts it away. That was easy. Soderstrom flies out on a very small, soft first pitch pop out. Out number 2. Man, I wish every batter were that easy for Mr. Alexander. Oh, dog, I'm talking about the correspondent, right, out on the field. I know that they've got the roof closed, but to me, even though it's inside the park, that's outside is what I mean. This is hit out into the center field and caught by Bryce Matthews. Another soft pop handled by the infield. So with runners on the corners, Alexander picks up 2 more pop outs. Yeah, like these guys are obviously in the booth, right? The booth could be easily air conditioned. And I know that Dykeen Park is air conditioned, but to me, I'm not considering inside the park to be a cool enough place to be wearing a sweater, right? Yeah, I think you get what I mean, right? What is the temperature if they close the roof and they're using the AC in Dykeen Park? What is the temperature? It's a good question, actually. I've never been in there, so let's see here. Indoor temp of Dykeen Park, whatever it is, it's not cool enough for a sweater. When the roof is closed, between 72 and 74, depending on wherever you sit and whether the roof is open or not, obviously. But I think the roof, yeah, that's right, fish-eyed. Yeah, online it says between 73 or 72 and 74, so 73 is right. But I can't imagine wearing a sweater in the park. Yeah, and Julia, there she is right there. See, now she's not wearing the sweater. She was out on the field wearing the sweater just a moment ago, and now she's not wearing it. She's wearing a t-shirt or very, very thin blouse, and that makes sense. In the booth, it's different because, it's a small space and they can crank up that AC. I agree with old dog about that. That's definitely manageable. Ball and a strike really quickly to Luis Severino. Here comes the next pitch. Hit high in the air. Bryce Matthews might be flying out here to the catcher. He loses it. It disappears. The ball just went up into the rafters and disappeared. It never came down. Or bounced around and came down somewhere else. It's pretty interesting. All of his home runs, Bryce Matthews' home runs and RBIs, have come in just the last 3 games. Pretty crazy. Here's the toss. Low and outside. 2-2 to Bryce Matthews. By the way, today I'm wearing my baseball team uniform from Tokyo, the Sonics, Supersonics. This is kind of my way to pay homage to the Space Cowboys that are on the team right now. Matthews hits this out into center field, and it's going to be caught. Man, a nice sliding catch there by Butler. Somehow he held on to it. He stumbled around. He rolled around after he caught it. Managed to hang on to it. Out number 1. Zach Short at the plate. Speaking of Space Cowboys, he hits this one out into the right field side. Might be playable by the first baseman, and it is. He grabs it right by the net. 2 away, just like that. Yordan Alvarez trading card bobblehead this Saturday. For me, it is Saturday. No, it's Friday. I'm sorry. Tomorrow will be Saturday for me. The Tram is at the plate. Takes that first pitch outside for ball 1. 2 outs, nobody on. Astros haven't done much. They had 1 single. Here comes the pitch. High and outside. 2-0. The Tram, the only one with a hit so far today. Here comes the 2-0. Ooh, 96 right in there, but a swing and a miss. Yeah, Juan, I know that the humidity is quite high. So it's gonna feel so muggy and sweaty. Here's the next pitch. Outside, 3-1. Good take by Tram. Here comes the next toss. Strike 2. Tram tried to take that as a walk. 95 mile per hour cutter right in the outside edge of the zone. I don't know why he thought that one was going to be ball 4. Here comes the full count pitch. Oh, hit hard to right field. Is it going to be fair? It's fair. Off the wall. Tram goes for 2. Is he going to be in there? They call him out. He was thrown out at second base. He hit the ball way too hard. He ripped that ball all the way out in the corner. If he had put on the brakes, he would have had himself a nice single and been 2 for 2. But he got caught trying to turn it into a double. He probably will get credit for a single there. But despite his speed, he just ripped it out there too hard, and they were able to bring it in really quick and get him tagged out at second base. Goodness gracious me. Okay, nothing doing for the Astros through 3 innings. We go to the top of the 4th. 4 hits for the A's, 1 hit for the Stros, 1-0. The A's over the Astros. The A's over the A's. Jason Alexander will be back up on the mound in just a moment. Let's see here. What is the pitching total so far for Alexander. 46 pitches, 30 of those strikes. Pretty good ratio there. Pitching count is around 15 per inning. Not bad, but not good. Just so-so. But he has brought it down a little bit. Go Astros, go indeed. Go Astros, go. Let's see here. Lawrence Butler at the plate. Yeah, we definitely need some runs. First pitch is in the dirt, but Butler goes after it. 0-1. Here's the next pitch. Grounded foul, 0-2. Pretty interesting because they said that Corpus Christi's next few pitchers due up are all Astros, including even J.P. France. It's a name I haven't heard in a while. Here's a pitch. A little high, ball 1. 1-2 is the count. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. Opposite field hit, but right at Doobie, who fires it over and gets him for out number 1. Butler's pretty fast, but not that fast. 1 away. 76 people following right now. I'm looking forward to getting some more likes. We got 45 right now. 5 more to go to get to 50. Thank you very much. If you're an Astros fan and you haven't subscribed, I would appreciate you making that subscription now. Here's the pitch. Ball 1 to Carlos Cortez. Oh, that was actually a strike. It was called a strike. My bad. That's a ball on the inside. Whenever I'm clicking back and forth from screen to screen, I'm listening in. And that umpire, when he calls a ball, it sounds like he's calling a strike. Here's the pitch. That's too far inside again. 2 balls and 1 strike. Here comes the next toss. Swing and a miss. Change up below the zone. There's that nasty change up. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Here's the toss, the 2-2. Grounded up the middle. There is another single, this time by a rookie. His first major league hit, Carlos Cortez. The 5th hit off of Jason Alexander today. One out, 1 runner on. Gio Urshela at the plate, fouls off the first pitch, 0-1. He singled his last at bat, batting .226 for the season. Yeah, I agree, Juan. We need to get it going at the plate, that's for sure. Low and outside, ball 1. The count is even, 1-1 to Urshela. We can't bank on Alexander keeping the A's at 1 run. Here is the 1-1 pitch. Hit out to right field. Is it going to be down? Yes, it is. It's going to be another soft serve single to right field. Another opposite field hit. Cortez stays, or rather, he only advances to second base. He wasn't sure if that was going to be played or not. Runners on first and second. Back-to-back singles. One up the middle, one opposite field. Yeah, John, you're right. But then again, people are always saying that the Astros play down or play up to their opponent. So if there's any truth to that, you never know. Next batter is Luis Urias. Fouls it off for strike one. Next pitch will be Alexander's 60th of the game. Runners on first and second with one out. I think he's basically had traffic every inning. Here's the pitch. Grounded to third. Might be a double play. No. Diving stop. He can only go to first base. They call him first. They might want to take a look at that. Zach Short makes a diving play. The only play he really has when he comes up is to go to first base. That was close. If they're not going to challenge that, it's going to be bases loaded with one out. Yeah, they're not challenging. Bases loaded for Max Schumann. A double play ball here would be nice. He's 1 for 2 with a single today. Swing and a miss on the outside. 81-mile-per-hour Swiffer. Yeah, Braden, it is. It's all cheap hits. 7 hits now for the A's so far in just 4 innings. Not even 4 innings, less than that. Here's the pitch. Ground ball to shortstop. It might be that double play that we need. Oh, terrible throw to first base. Walker can't handle it. And that's going to allow a run to score. They're not going to label it an error. It really is a throwing error. Short picks it up, no problem. Goes to second base. Bryce makes a terrible throw to first base, and Walker cannot scoop it up. That's not traditional Astros ball right there. You got to make that throw. 2-0 A's with 2 outs, runners on the corners. That brings up Nick Kurtz. Alexander goes over to first base. The runner is back. Yeah, you're right, Crispy. And by the way, Braden, hello. I saw you say hi. Thanks for being here. Here's the pitch. This is hit hard down the right field line. It's going to score another run all the way into the corner. Another hit. That's the 8th hit. They might score 2 runs. Here's the throw home. They got him at the plate. Yes, he's out. So the A's try to score an extra run. They get a little greedy there. Double to right field. Schumann tries to score from first base, but he is thrown out at the plate for out number 3. Luckily, they only give up 1 extra run there. It's 3-0 after 4 innings. Jason Alexander has now given up 8 hits. He's averaging 2 hits per inning right now to the nameless A's, the homeless A's. How about that? The Astros are losing. We sweep the Diamondbacks, and now we're losing 3-0 in the 4th inning to the A's. Yeah, it is just like batting practice, isn't it, John? The A's just come up, single, 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 then a double, and then single, 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 single. It's like, what? Kidding me? Are you kidding me? What's crazy is that the changeup from Alexander today is looking really good. When he throws that changeup, they're swinging and missing it. But when he manages to alter and go to a different pitch, they're putting a lot of those They're either pulling them or going opposite field. Most of them have been opposite field, with a couple pulled, one up the middle. But like you said, it's like batting practice. It's like batting practice right now for the A's. They've already got nearly 10 hits in this game. Astros only have 2. Let's see what they can do in the bottom of the 4th in Daikin Park. Don't do this in front of your own home crowd. Goodness gracious. My hero is coming to the plate in just a moment, Jose Altuve. He will be followed by the Batman Victor Caratini and then Christian Walker. Here comes the first pitch to Altuve. He goes after it and fouls it off on the right side. Altuve had a strikeout, his first at bat, something I missed while I was having issues with my internet. 0-1 is the count right now. Here comes the toss. He fouls that one off on the right side again. 97 up and in. How in the world did he foul that one off opposite field? That's crazy. That ball was 97 miles an hour up and in, and he fouled it off opposite field into the crowd on the first base side. How do you do that? I absolutely agree, Braden. We should not be losing to the Athletics. Here is the 0-2 pitch. 98 right in the center of the plate. Fouled off again. I agree, Crispy. If the Rangers can easily beat them. Well, then again, you know, look at the Astros lineup. You know, they can't be heroes all the time. So it's easy to forget that. First pitch outside to Altuve. The count is 1-2. Here comes the next delivery from Severino, his 50th pitch of the game. High, ball 2. 2 good takes. 2 good takes by Altuve. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. Hey, Altuve with a line drive hit right up the middle. 3rd hit of the game for the Astros. Astros' best hitter this month. High fastball, or a cutter, they said. He went up and got it and just line drove it right through that big gap in the middle. Leadoff base runner at first, with Victor Caratini at the plate, who struck out looking his last at bat. He grounds this one to first base, and Altuve will be tagged for a double play. Unfortunate situation there. Caratini rips it right down the line to the first baseman, who's easily able to tag Altuve for out number 2. The most ridiculous result right there. 2 away. Christian Walker comes to the plate with nobody on and 2 outs. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. 98 right in the zone. Severino up to 53 pitches right now. Walker wants a timeout. Think about that fastball that he couldn't catch up to just now. Here comes the pitch. Yeah, DeLion, we do. It's called Snap. Snap. It was the first one I put on, I think. Altuve, it's Altuve. But it's like he's got the Infinity Gauntlet, right? Ground ball to the second baseman, and Walker grounds out for out number 3. Astros do nothing again except for Altuve's nice line drive up the middle, but that's erased with a double play. 3 hits for the Astros through 4 innings, no runs, and we are down. They have just as many hits as the A's do runs. 3 hits for the Astros, 3 runs for the A's. Goodness gracious me. Goodness gracious me. Brent Rooker is due up in just a moment. He is 1 for 2 today. Many guys on the A's probably have hits. Let's see. How many have hits? Everybody except for 3. Soderstrom, Langeliers, and Butler are the only ones without hits. Six A's have hits, and 3 A's have RBIs. 63 pitches for Jason Alexander today. Yeah, you're right, Charles. You're right. We got him through the A's. You'd think that he'd want to be shutting them down, right? First pitch from Alexander to Brent Rooker is way outside for ball 1. Rooker has 1 hit, no RBI, 1 strikeout. He fouls this one off on the left side. 1-1 is the count. Here comes a 1-1 toss. Way high. 2 balls, 1 strike. Here comes a pitch. Hit foul down the third base line. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Yeah, they definitely don't have any reason to be afraid. They should be making contact with the ball. Woo, man, that was close. Just a little outside. Maybe missed by 2 inches. Full count. Nobody out yet in the top of the 5th. Leadoff batter at the plate with a full count. Here's the toss. 90 right in the bottom of the zone. Fouled off. Count remains full. Here comes the pitch. Too low. Ball 4. Low and outside. Next batter is Soderstrom. And it looks like he's going to have himself a hit. It goes all the way to the wall. It gets past Altuve. They're sending Rooker to third base. A double by Soderstrom. So Soderstrom gets on the hit board for the A's. Now there are only 2 A's without a hit off of Alexander. This just managed to get past Altuve. Runners on the corners. with no outs. I'm sorry, runners on second and third. My bad. With no outs. Shea Langoliers at the plate. Now, Langoliers doesn't have a hit yet, and Lawrence Butler comes up next. He doesn't have a hit either, but they are due up next. Here comes the first pitch. Low, ball one. 9 hits given up. Or that should be 10. No, that's 9 hits. That's right. 9 hits given up by Alexander. Here comes a 1-0 pitch. Langoliers takes that in the top of the zone for strike one. 82 miles per hour on the Swiffer. Yeah, Jordan, welcome to the party. That's right, DeLion. Melton and Javier in Sugarland, and they've got JP France coming up too, real soon. Good pitch on the inside edge, 80 miles an hour, strike two, 1-2. Langoliers 0 for 2 today. Come on, Mr. Alexander. Yeah, I think that if right now they should already be. I don't know why they haven't talked to him yet, but if he gives up more runs, they're gonna have to get somebody warming up. This is hit out into center field. Trammell grabs it, and this is a tag, so it looks like a sacrifice fly. It's 4-0 A's. 1 out, runner on second. Sacrifice fly gives the A's a 4-0 lead. They're destroying the Astros at home right now. Lawrence Butler at the plate. Here's the pitch. He hits this one high in the air. Is it going to be playable? Nope. It goes back and out of play for strike one. Langoliers did not get a hit, but he got a sacrifice fly and an RBI. So every A's player either has a hit, an RBI, or a hit and an RBI, except for this guy at the plate right now, Lawrence Butler. Here comes the pitch, the 0-1. Swing and a miss. 0-2. Yeah, they are nickel and diming the crap out of him. You're right. You're exactly right. Here comes the 0-2 pitch to Butler. In the dirt, ball one. There's a runner on second base with 1 out. Alexander giving up 1 run here, 2 runs there, 1 run here. They are just killing us with a steady drip of water. High and outside. Way high and outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Yeah, DeLine, you're right. I'm just looking at the hitting side of it because that has to do primarily with the success with the bat. That's what I'm talking about. Success with the bat against Alexander. Here comes the full count pitch. He hits this one high in the air. Out to left field might be trouble. No, Dubon grabs it. What a good play with the over-the-shoulder catch by Dubon. It looked like it was going to be trouble, but Dubon made it look easy. I'm glad Short didn't run into him. It looked like Short tried to slide into that ball. Man, he almost slid right into Dubon there. Take a look at this. Dubon makes a great play. Runner stays at second, 2 outs. So Butler flies out. All right, 1 guy with no RBI and no hit. Alexander still has 1 guy who hasn't been able to get a hit or an RBI off of him. Here comes the first pitch to the next batter, Carlos Cortez, the new guy. His first major league hit. His last at bat. That's in there for strike 1. Yeah, that's right. Alexander's old-timey jam. That's right. We got the jam going on right now. Foul ball, strike two. I agree with you. We definitely have, even though we only have one runner on second base, this whole game has been an old-timey jam for Alexander. There comes the 0-2 pitch to Cortez. High, ball one. 1-2. Jordan says, I'd rather play the M's of the Rangers in the first round versus the A's. We know how the Yankees have felt since we've been in the AL. Here's the pitch. In the dirt. 2-2. It does seem that the Astros take those games a lot more seriously, even if they wind up losing. It seems like they do take them more seriously. I mean, we weren't so far out of winning those games versus the Mariners, winning that series. We were very close to winning that series. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Cortez. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. So Alexander gets the strikeout on the new guy. Finally, the third out. He only gives up 1 run, but that makes it 4-0. The White Elephants over the Space Cowboys. Goodness gracious me. 3 hits for the Astros. Jason Alexander has given up 9 hits and 4 runs. But guys, his day might pretty much be over. He's already up to 84 pitches. Severino's only at 55. Alexander has basically thrown 30 more pitches just through 5 innings. Just through 5 innings. That changeup, John, hey, that changeup has been nice. It's just too bad that the rest of his pitches haven't worked out. They've been having batting practice, basically. Just getting these little hits here and there. The A's haven't gotten a single home run. Everything has just been, I would say, what, like 80% singles? 80, 90% singles? And a double? It's ridiculous. Redonkulous. Let's close the poll there. It's a close poll on the emojis. Cam Smith with a 32% voting. Dubon was first for a while, but he came in at 30%. Hunter Brown at 26%. Then I can't believe you guys put Trammell down at 9%. I really wanted to do the Tram. But Cam has been incredibly cold since the All-Star break. He's like 3 for 25. The only reason that I put him on there is because he's been one of the consistent players, but he's been really cold recently. Speaking of Cam, he's at the plate. Swing and a miss on the first pitch, strike 1. Here comes the next pitch. Fouled off. Into the crowd, strike 2. Let's see if Cam can turn it around right here. John, are you talking about my list? He's on there. Hunter Brown is the diesel. He's on the list. Here's the pitch. Fouled off. Count stays 0-2. Yeah, I have mixed emotions, Jordan. I mean, you can't be right on all the time, right? Here's the 0-2 pitch. On the inside, a little too far inside, but the umpire liked it. Strike 3. Cam goes down looking on that inside pitch. Definitely out of the zone, but it was... He looks so disappointed there. Cam is getting really close to being 3 for 30 since the All-Star break. That's no good. Singleton is at the plate. He hits out a monster blast out the right field, way up there, but foul. Holy cow. That's what I want to see. Keep smacking that ball, Big John. Watch John Singleton just go gangbusters, and this will be like the best year he's ever had. Wouldn't that be amazing? Here's a pitch. High. He becomes our new Yordan Alvarez. He becomes our discount Alvarez. 1 ball, 1 strike. Here comes a 1-1 pitch with 1 out. In the bottom of the zone, a little low, but it did barely catch it. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Check this out. How many different lineups the Astros have used this year? They are 3rd place. 97 different lineups. That's crazy. Here's a 1-2 pitch. Swing and a foul tip miss, and that's going to be a strikeout. Big John with a monster foul ball, but he goes down on that foul tip miss. 2 away. Severino having a really easy day with the Astros so far. 63 pitches, no runs, and only 3 hits. Dubon is at the plate. Takes the first one for ball 1. Yeah, I want to see the bat flip too. Right in there for strike 1. The count's even. 85-mile-per-hour Swiffer. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. Doobie bounces it opposite field. First baseman flips to Severino, who rushes over to get the out. 3 up and 3 down again. So through 5 innings, the Astros have 3 hits. 2 hits for Trammell. 1 hit for Altuve. So our first 2 batters in the lineup have hits, but nobody else. And walks, 0. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 strikeouts for the Astros. So 6 strikeouts, 0 walks. Okay. 3 hits. Now one of those, Trammell got thrown out stretching for second. And after Altuve got his hit, he was doubled off with a Caratini bouncer directly to the first baseman. So think about how crazy that is. 2 of our 3 hits were immediately canceled. The base runners were canceled immediately. So even the guys that the Astros have managed to get on base were either thrown out immediately or they were tagged out on the very next pitch. I don't know about that, Jordan. I don't know about that. He's at 86 pitches right now. The Astros are still very much in the game. We've got 4 more innings to go. There's no reason to think that the Astros can't win. First batter up, Urshela. Here's the pitch. Alexander's back on the mound. Grounder straight to Zach Short, who fires over to first base for out number 1. That's good. The bullpen is going for the Astros, which makes sense. Hector Neris is out there. Brian King is running around and getting warmed up. It looks like they're planning to bring in Neris. So I guess the A's will get more runs on the board. Here's the pitch. On the outside. Man, that was a generous strike call. Arias at the plate with 1 out. Nobody on. Low and outside. Ball 1. The count is even. I think we're kind of beyond getting his pitch count up. We just need to start hitting him. This is fouled off for strike two. 1-2 is the count. Yeah, Jordan, I used to do that too. Work the pitch count. I was very good at swinging at stuff that was only around the zone. Here's the pitch. This is hit hard to left field, might be gone. It's all the way out to the Crawford boxes, and it is. So my gut feeling was correct. They should have pulled Alexander out. Now it's 5-0 A's with that very quiet Daikin Park home run by Luis Urias. Alexander finally gives up the bomb, and that might be his last pitch. We'll see. On the fastball, definitely not the changeup. Five to nothing. 10 hits for the A's. Next batter loops it out to right field. Little soft line drive caught by Cam Smith for out number 2. Max Schumann goes down on the fly out. Nick Kurtz comes to the plate with 2 outs. There is another hit. That's going to be a double. Left center field. 11 hits given up now by Alexander. Why are they leaving him in the game? I don't even understand why they let him start this inning. Nick Kurtz on second base. Runner in scoring position with 2 outs. Brent Rooker now comes to the plate. Rooker has a hit and a run scored today, and a walk. Here comes the first pitch. In the dirt outside. Rooker will easily go to... I'm not Rooker, I'm sorry about that. Schumann? No, that's Kurtz. Kurtz will go to third base easily. Here's the pitch, the 1-0. On the inside, generous call by the umpire. 1-1 is the count. I guess the umpire feels a little sorry for Alexander. In 6 innings, Alexander has given up runs in 4 of those. Here's the 1-1 pitch. On the inside, punch to Walker. He's going to take it himself for out number 3. But on the solo home run, after 94 pitches, Alexander has 5 earned runs, 11 hits he gave up. Let's take a look at his total stats here to see what he did in the pitching category. Six innings pitched, 11 hits given up, 5 runs, all earned runs, 2 walks. Just 3 strikeouts, 1 home run. I was really looking forward. I seriously was looking forward to seeing how Jason Alexander would do today, and I have to say that this is not what I was expecting, especially against the A's. I thought maybe no more than 3 runs. But which one is... Actually, I can make a poll on that. Let me ask you guys in the poll. go. There we go. Bryce Matthews is at the plate. Takes the first two in there for strike one and strike two while I'm trying to set up a poll on my screen. Here comes the 0-2 from Severino. Way outside on the Swiffer, and Bryce Matthews goes down swinging. That didn't look good. 3-pitch strikeout for Severino against Matthews. Nothing doing there. Zach Short at the plate. A little outside. Ball one. Here comes the next pitch from Severino. High and inside, ball two. Come on, Mr. Zach Short. Short batting ninth in the lineup. If he could get on base, we could get back to our guys who are actually hitting the ball today. Trammell and Altuve. Here's the toss. 97 on the outside edge. Strike one. 2-1. It seems like the technical problems that happened today, in the dirt there, that's ball three. 3-1. All of those software and technical issues and internet issues and all of those things today seem to also be affecting the Astros. They're having technical issues. Here's the 3-1. Right in the zone, he pops it foul and out of play on the right side. Full count. Here comes the next pitch. The 3-2 is fouled off at the plate. Short will get another opportunity in just a moment. I know that the A's are not a great team, but I still feel like a lot of the AL teams are underrated. Short grounds this to shortstop, who fires him out. His counterpart makes the play for out number 2. The Tram comes to the plate. He is 2 for 2 today with 2 singles. Two of the Astros' 3 hits, and he had a rocket to right field last at bat. Here comes the pitch. 99. Severino cranking it up against Trammell. Strike one. He took that one right in the zone, right inside. He knows that this is the guy that's been hitting him. He's probably just going to try to blow his doors off. Here comes the next pitch. Wow, 85, so far below the zone there. I mean, it just maybe 1 centimeter. It clipped the zone by 1 centimeter, and the umpire liked it, so it's 0-2. There comes the 0-2 pitch in the dirt, ball one. I will say that I'm surprised that the Astros only have 3 hits. If they had like 7 or 8 hits and they were stranding runners and still had 0 runs, that would surprise me less. Here's a pitch. Strikeout, 86 miles an hour, low and inside. Severino, I think that's 8 strikeouts for Severino today. Let's see. Yeah, 8 strikeouts for Severino. He's pitched 6 complete innings, gave up only 3 hits, no runs, no walks. This is the performance that we need from our backup pitchers right here. 6 innings with 3 hits, no earned runs, no walks, 8 strikeouts. That's solid. That's absolutely solid right there. But it exposes the issue that we have. I mean, the Astros team has a ton of heart, the most, I would say. And what they've shown to overcome diversity has been absolutely amazing. But in games like this, our weakness in the lineup is exposed, I think. Can't be lucky all the time, if you think about it. We've got a pitcher on the mound who is a coin flip, and we've got a lot of batters who come to the plate every time they bat. It's a coin flip. So, should we really be surprised? That's why I ask, which one seems to be more surprising to you? That Alexander has given up 5 runs and 11 hits to the A's, or that the Astros don't even have a single run and only have 3 hits? Which one is more surprising? Yeah, but Mercy Received is right. Some sorry teams been looking good or doing good recently. Colorado, the A's, the Marlins. That's baseball. Sometimes the best teams just start losing like crazy. Sometimes the worst teams start winning like crazy. Very first pitch from Neris goes out to Tram in center field. He puts it away for out number 1. Hector Neris is on the mound. Shea Langolier is at the plate facing Neris. The first pitch is in there. 1 out, nobody on. Strike 1. Here comes the next toss. Now look at that. That was a strike in the bottom of the zone and called the ball. This umpire, he is so questionable on these calls on the outside edge and below the zone. This is fouled off to the left side for strike number 2. 1-2 is the count. A little inconsistent on those edge and top and bottom calls. Did you guys see all the errors that the Stankies committed yesterday? I enjoyed watching those highlights. It was pretty funny. Here's the next pitch. Fouled off again. 93 miles an hour on that fastball. Count stays 1-2. It is a bright and shiny day outside, as you guys can see. Here comes the next pitch. Low and outside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. I've got one of my sliding doors open. Two pitch on the way from Neris. Langoliers takes that one in the dirt. Full count. Once I get my house completely, not necessarily completely, but on the inside completely insulated and get the foundation repaired and all of that cleaned up and comfortable, it's going to be really nice to be able to just walk around the outside here. This is hit into center field and playable for Trammell. Back-to-back fly balls to center field. 2 away. Smooth innings so far for Neris. Got into a full count there, but was able to get the fly out. Lawrence Butler comes to the plate. Here's the pitch. Another one right in the bottom of the zone called a ball. The umpire's not giving those to us. He's clearly giving them to the A's, but not to us. 1-0 is the count. Here comes the toss. Grounded at the plate. 83-mile-per-hour splitter. Strike one. Shoot. I agree with you. Partially. He's pitching like it. He's pitching like it. Here's the next toss. Speaking of pitching. 84 miles an hour. He couldn't hold up. That's strike two. 1-2, the count. Neris is ahead. I would never say that Alexander is hot garbage, but I would say that right now he's mostly pitching like a batting practice pitcher right now. Low and outside. Could have been a strike on the corner. Called the ball. Umpire fails us again. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Go on, Neris. You got this. Here comes the 2-2. Look at that. And he calls that one. Butler gets upset about that. But the umpire owed us that one. It was a strike. But the umpire missed several calls in the exact same spot. Called him ball. And finally calls the strike for out number 3. 3 up and 3 down for Hector Neris in the top of the 7th. Thank goodness. Thank you, Hector Neris. I didn't think it was going to happen. I didn't expect it. But I'm so glad it happened. 3 up and 3 down. Good freaking job. The first time in basically 4 innings that the Astros have not given up any runs. Alexander gave up 4 between the 4th and the 6th. We go into the bottom of the 7th. The Astros have 5 runs to make up in the next 3 innings. I believe it can be done. It's okay, John. Don't worry about it. Remember that when we first got to the top of the division, we held it just for like the day or something. It kind of, and then we just kind of kept going and took a hold of it. And then something kind of similar happened when we got to second place in the AL. We passed the Yankees, and it was kind of back and forth just for a short time, and then we just kind of took over. And then, of course, we started struggling later, but we're still ahead of the Stankies. So, it's okay. It's all good. Jose Altuve is due up at the plate in just a moment. 1 for 2 today. With a nice line drive single up the middle. Christian Javier pitched 2.2 innings tonight, gave up 1 run, 3 hits. Altuve gets hit on the very first pitch. Crowd is booing like crazy. Severino nails Altuve on the very first pitch. They're going to come out and check on Altuve. Right on the forearm there. He says he's all right. He's jogging to first base. Glad he didn't get hit like on the hand or somewhere where it would really, really hurt. Has Severino lost control? That's the 81st pitch. Caratini, the Batman, comes to the plate with a runner on and no outs. Here's the pitch. High. Ball 1. I wonder if they're going to have somebody going in the bullpen after that. I agree, John. Get at least 1 run. Don't embarrass ourselves. A couple runs at least. But I'd rather a comeback. Let's do a comeback. Here's a 1-0 pitch. A little high. Ball 2. Could have gone either way. Right at the top of the zone. Umpire once again showing his inconsistent calling in those gray areas. Look how short he is compared to the first baseman. Good old Altuve. 2 balls and no strikes to the Batman. Here comes the pitch. Right in there. That's hit hard to right field all the way out to the wall. Over his head and off the wall. Altuve's going to come around to third. Altuve to third. The Batman goes to second base. Heck yes. Now we've got runners on second and third with no outs. There we go. He ripped that out there so fast that Cortez did not have an opportunity to get underneath it. Altuve was easily able to get over to third base. It was ripped so hard. So a hit by pitch and a double. 4th hit of the game. Langlia slows it down a little bit by going out to the mound to have a little chit-chat with Severino. I would imagine that the bullpen is going to be going now for the A's if it wasn't already. 84 pitches now for Severino. Yep. Michael Kelly in the bullpen going for the A's, a righty. Christian Walker at the plate. Batting .320 this month. Couple of ground outs today. Let's see if he turns it around right here. Low and outside, ball 1. Good take. Oh yeah, Judy, I heard about that. That's sad news. Can't believe he was in his 70s. Hulk Hogan, that is. Here's the pitch. In the dirt. 2 balls and no strikes. Make him pitch. Make him pitch. 86 pitches now for Severino. Come on, Walker. Runners on second and third in the bottom of the 7th. No outs. Here's the toss. Fouls it off. 97 in the top of the zone. 2 balls and 1 strike to Walker. Here comes the 2-1 pitch. Good take. Low and outside. Almost 3 inches off the plate. Walker went to go and he held up. Good take. 3 balls and 1 strike. It'd get us a lot closer, wouldn't it, Excalibur? 1 swing. Here's the 3-1. This is hit hard to right field, but Altuve at least will be able to tag and go home. Here's the throw. The throw goes to third instead of home. Altuve doesn't even have to rush home. 5-1, so Walker does get a sacrifice fly, and the runner is moved over to third base. So Caratini actually tags up and gets to third. Run number 2 is 90 feet away. 1 away. And Cam Smith comes to the plate with an opportunity to crank it up and turn it around. Turn around his slump. He grounds it to the left side rather. That's going to be another run scored, but he gets thrown out at first base. Caratini scores. Heads up base running by Caratini. On the bouncer by Cam Smith. 5-2 Astros. Nobody on. And Big John Singleton. Are we going to get to see ourselves a bat flip or what? Come on. I want to see a bat flip. Here's the toss. Opposite field. It looks like it's going to be playable. And it is. Soderstrom puts it away. If he had been able to pull that one, it could have been gone. Out number 3, but the Astros put on 2 in the bottom of the 7th. It's a 3-run game now, 5-2. 4 hits for the Astros, 11 hits for the A's. Likely the last we will see of Severino. He's up to 90 pitches now. The top of the 8th coming up. Let's go, man. Absolutely, let's go. Absolutely, let's go, Strizos. Let's go, Strizos. Did you guys see Bloodsport? Remember when he says, "Okay, USA"? It kind of reminds me of, "Let's go, Stros." Hey, you know what? Maybe the Astros do the same thing in the 7th, the 8th, and the 9th that the A's have been doing to Alexander the whole game. Just chip away, chip away, chip away. By the 9th, we tie it up, and then we win it either with a walk-off or we win it in extra innings. Either way, I'm okay with that. As long as we get the win, I don't care. I don't care how. Either way. I am 9 subscribers away now from 800. Thank you guys so much. We're closing in on 800. If you're an Astros fan, I appreciate you joining the channel. If you're listening into the live stream, your likes are appreciated very much. Hector Neris back in the game for another inning. This pitch is outside, 92 miles an hour for ball 1. He is facing Carlos Cortez, the new guy. He had his first major league hit earlier. Swing and a miss there on the splitter. 1 ball, 1 strike. Here comes the next pitch. Hit high in the air to the infield. Dubon should have it no problem, and he puts it away for out number 1. A little infield fly ball. That's right, Jordan. 2-2-2, win 6-5. That'd be hilarious. How disappointing would that be for Severino, right, to see that happen? Here's the pitch. Right on the top of the zone for strike 1 to Urshela. Here comes the pitch in the dirt. 1 ball, 1 strike. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Here's the pitch, the 1-1. Sharply hit through the hole. Dubon can't get to it, and that's going to be another single. That's a dozen hits for the A's today. Urshela with 3 hits today. Batting in the 8th position. Big John sitting over there in the dugout right now. Wow, I didn't know that about Singleton. First pitch is high for ball 1. From 2015 to 2023, did you guys know that John Singleton was homeless? Did you know that? Holy freaking cow, that makes me feel for the guy. 1-0, here's the pitch. This is hit high in the air. Is it going to be foul? Yes. 1-1 is the count. Runner on first base with 1 out. Okert is warming up in the bullpen for the Astros. If Neris runs into trouble, it looks like he will be replaced by Fried Okert. Here comes the next pitch. Low and inside. 2 balls and 1 strike. Here's the next pitch. Right in the bottom of the zone, just below the zone. Not handled cleanly by Caratini. Couldn't frame it well. 3 balls and 1 strike. Yeah, I mean, I know he had some drug issues, but I don't think it was like heavy drugs. I think it was like weed or something he got in trouble with, right? Not really fair for him to get in so much trouble over something like that. This is fouled down the third baseline. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Of course, then again, DeLion, I don't know all of the details of everything that John's been through, but I know that he would be a really, really great story to come back and have a great season, great career. Runner is going to second. Here's a throw. Easy out at second base. Double play, guys. Neris gets the strikeout. Caratini throws him out easily at second base. Astros get the double play. Neris locks it down. How about that? Hector Neris. Hector Neris and Victor Caratini, the combo, gets us through the 7th and 8th inning, 6 up and 6 down, eliminating the base runner there and pushing us into the bottom of the 8th. Mauricio Dubon is due up to bat with Bryce Matthews on deck and Zach Short in the hole. Wow. What a great double play there. Strike him out, throw him out. And it was nowhere near close. He didn't even get to the bag. He was so thrown out right there. That was great. Yeah, I'd love to see Big John contribute also. I'm not disillusioned. I had a subscriber before tell me, just because one time I mentioned John Singleton, long before the Astros ever brought him back, and I mean this recent bring back, before they brought him back, I was just saying, I would rather experiment a little bit and bring in the competition with John Singleton at first base, because he's a lefty, he's got power. His defense is so-so, obviously. But if you bring him in sometimes and you create a little competition with Christian Walker, I thought maybe that would put some fire underneath Christian Walker's butt to improve and do better. Plus, we can actually have a little bit of extra left-handed thump sometimes. I'm not saying that Singleton is the answer, and I'm not saying he's an amazing player. Of course, he has potential. But one of the subscribers messaged me one time, or he emailed me, and he said, the guy that you like so much, or the guy that you favor, is coming back to the Astros. He was re-signed with the Astros. Here's the first pitch to Doobie, right there in the upper inner part of the zone for strike 1. Michael Kelly is in for the A's. Dubon fouls this one off at the plate for strike 2. 0-2. But it's not that I favor John Singleton. It's just that the Astros don't have many choices. He offers a unique, I guess you could say, several unique traits that could benefit the Astros. Low and outside to Dubon. 1 ball and 2 strikes. But I would like to see him really, really do something this time. You know what I'm saying? Here's a 1-2 pitch. Line drive caught by the second baseman right at him. Out number 1. Doobie almost with the opposite field hit. Bryce Matthews at the plate. Here's the first pitch. Low and outside, ball 1. Yeah, I've heard rumors going around about Suarez. Isaiah, I've definitely heard about. I've heard these rumors. 83 outside swing and a miss. That was the identical pitch to the last one. He let the first one go, swung at the second one. 1-1 with one out, nobody on. Here's a pitch to Matthews. Low and outside, good take. They keep throwing the Swiffer to Matthews. He's laid off of it twice. 2 balls and 1 strike. Michael Kelly on the mound, about to deliver the 2-1 pitch. Here it comes. Low and in the dirt. So Matthews here is like take swing, but there hasn't been a single strike in the zone yet. Could have been a 4-pitch walk. So you could say that Bryce Matthews is 50-50 at swinging at the Swiffer. He hits this one, a tapper to third base. Might be a problem. Yeah, there we go. Infield hit for Bryce Matthews. The bare-handed grab by the third baseman. He makes the throw over to first base, but Bryce Matthews is way past first before the ball ever gets there. It's not even close. Big bouncer. Yeah, easy peasy. I don't even know why he threw it. Matthews is already past the bag. We got ourselves a runner with 1 out on first base. Hit number 5 for the Astros. I heard people also talking about Brandon Lowe, or is it Lau? Brandon Lau, the second baseman. They were also talking about him as a possible option for a lefty bat. Yainer Diaz is at the plate, batting for Zach Short. Very first one is popped up on the infield. First baseman is in to grab it. Diaz flies out right by home plate on the very first pitch. Good pinch hit right there. Good grief. Good grief. The Tram comes to the plate. Man, we need a big hit from you right now. They're going to have a little chit-chat about the Tram. Matthews on first base. A little chit-chat on the mound going on right now. The Spada trying to figure out what to do. Taylor Trammell waiting patiently at the plate. 2 for 3 today with a couple of singles. Here comes the first pitch to the Tram. Hold up on the outside pitch, but it's slightly in the zone for strike 1. 96 mile per hour on the fastball. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. Long delay by Kelly. 82 right in the bottom of the zone on the Swiffer. Strike 2. 0-2. Come on, Tram. Crank one out, man. One swing and we could be within 1 run. We're supposed to get 2 runs this inning, right? Right, guys? Weren't we supposed to get 2 runs in the 7th, 2 runs in the 8th, and then 2 runs in the 9th? Isn't that the script? Here comes the 0-2 pitch. Up the middle. It's going to get through. Matthews is going to head to third. Runners on first and third. Tram comes through again with another single. He's 3 for 4 today. The Tram leaves the station and makes 1 stop. 1 stop only. Right up the middle where there is nobody. That brings up Jose Altuve. Looks like they're not going to let him pitch to Altuve. They gonna pull him out? Yep. Yep, they're not going to let Michael Kelly pitch to the legendary Jose Altuve. They're going to make another pitching change, so there's going to be a break. I'm going to seize this opportunity to go in here right quick and to get rid of some liquid, if you know what I'm saying. Runners on the corners right now for the Astros in the bottom of the 8th, guys, with 2 outs. Jose Altuve at the plate. There's a pitching change for the A's. He's jogging in right now to warm up. We'll be back in just a moment. Go freaking Stros. Out with the old and in with the new. Got some no sugar cola. Who is in the game? Mason Miller. Mason Miller is in the game now. This is the guy we need to blow up, but unfortunately, low and outside in the dirt, Altuve swings and misses. He was clearly trying to make something happen on the very first pitch. 0-1 is the count. Come on, Altuve. Do it for me, baby. Do it for all of us. Do it for your team. Do it for your country. Do it for the world. Here's the pitch. This is hit lightly into center field, and it's going to be playable. Butler almost overplays it there. Altuve flies out to the center fielder on the second pitch. 5-2 the score remains. 2 runners stranded. 12 hits for the A's, 6 hits for the Astros. 5-2. We go into the top of the 9th. One more inning. At least one more inning. At least. Let's take a look at the trash talking in the chat gets you 5 minutes timeout. DJ LeMahieu? I haven't heard any talk about that. Yeah, I think DeLion, you're right. 700 OPS guys are like a dime a dozen, I think. Why would we bother getting a guy that we already have? What's the point in trading away guys just to get guys that are like the ones we're trading away, or or paying for guys that we already have that we could use? You know what I'm saying? Paul, if you're talking to me about the iffy pitcher pitching to Altuve, I don't think that if that's a sarcastic question, then I don't understand why the sarcasm. Steven Okert is on the mound for the Astros. First pitch coming in to Max Schumann is way outside for ball one. Next pitch from Okert on the way. Too far inside. So the first pitch is way outside. Next pitch is way inside. Does that mean that this one is going to be in the zone? We'll see. He's looking for the zone right now. He's feeling around like somebody trying to find the electrical outlet plug behind the sofa. 79 miles an hour on the outside. 3 balls and no strikes. Whitcomb is in at third base right now. Doobie has been moved over. Here's the 3-0 pitch. High and outside again. Okert doesn't throw anything even slightly close to the zone. 4-pitch walk to Max Schumann. Nick Kurtz comes to the plate with a runner on and no outs. Jordan, I would love to make this a strange game by winning. Altuve was the best batting average in the American League this month until today. Now he's second. First pitch to Nick Kurtz is a strike. 3 for 4 today with a couple of doubles and an RBI. He's having a yield good day in Daikin Park. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. The runner is stealing. The pitch is wild, way over the head. He's easily going to get to second base. Schumann picks the right pitch to go on. Look at that. Right at the head of Kurtz. Look how close that was. Dangerous right there. Okert looking like he's having some control issues. 5 of 6 pitches have been way out of the zone. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. Inside, this is hit way up in the air out to right field. Long ways to go for Cam Smith. He grabs it and throws it in. Cam brings it in really quick. Looks like Cam has shaved off his hair. Hardly recognize him. Zacarias Arandas. Out number 1. Runner on second. Brent Rooker comes to the plate. Getting Nick Kurtz there was a big out. 1 for 3 with a single today is Brent Rooker. Here comes the first pitch from Okert. That's inside for a strike. 90 miles an hour on that pitch. It floats just inside that corner, just tucks it in there. 0-1 is the count. Here comes the next pitch. Nope, Okert comes off the mound and fakes the throw to second. Light recycling talk? Paul. Light recycling talk. Oh and 2 is the count with that pitch. Here comes the 0-2 against Brent Rooker. That's grounded up the middle. Matthews backhands it, fires it over to first base for out number 2. 2 away. Runner on third. Tyler Soderstrom comes to the plate. Pinch hitter. Soderstrom is out. Josh Miller's going to run out and have a little chit-chat with Okert and Caratini about this batter. I agree with you, Crispy, 100%. It's ridiculous, right? Why trade our players for a mid player? And why pay for a mid player? I don't think we should do either one of those things. We already have enough mid players, and some of them are getting too much money. So why spend money or get rid of our current players just to get more of the same? I don't see the point. Miguel Andujar is the batter at the plate, pinch hitting for Soderstrom. Here's the pitch in the dirt, ball 1. Yeah, we just need to hang in there. We got a lot of pitchers coming back really soon. We got hitters coming back eventually. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. Right in there. Nice pitch on the slider. 1-1 is the count. Yeah, Okert started off pretty wild. Let's see if he can lock it down right here. We got 2 outs and a 1-1 count. Another one way inside. Okert not consistently putting it in the strike zone. Here's a pitch. Way outside. 3 balls and 1 strike. Andujar's batting .286 for the season. OPS is 700. Here comes the 3-1. This is launched into left field. Not home run distance, but foul either way. Strike 2. The count is full. Astros due up in the bottom of the 9th. Caratini, Walker, and Smith. Maybe the Astros will have back-to-back-to-back homers and tie up the game. Here's a full count pitch. Grounded to Matthews, who fires over to first base to get out number 3. All right. Nice, solid play. And that is it. So he manages to serve up a little fried Okert in the end. He had a little trouble cooking it up, but he finally gets it served and gets out of the inning. That's going to be all the runs in the regular game time for the A's. 12 hits, 5 runs. That's their total offering for the day. The Astros have yet to reveal their total offering for the day, but they have 3 more outs to serve up something. 6 hits so far and 2 runs. Essentially, this game right now, nothing else matters. What matters right now is it's basically 3-0. 3-0. We need 3 runs to extend the game. 4 to walk it off. Likely there will be no pinch hitters for the next 3 batters. We've got Victor Caratini, Christian Walker, and Cam Smith due up. I do like me some fried Okert, fried okra, Paul. Actually, okra is really good for you too. I really hated it when I was a kid because, you know, it's got that sticky consistency and stuff. But when you get older, you mostly get over that kind of stuff. But man, chicken fried steak, I don't remember the last time I had a chicken fried steak or beef fried steak. I seriously don't remember the last time I had any of those. but I'm in Japan, so it's not really a thing here. Country fried steak and gravy, mashed potatoes and gravy, it's not a thing in Japan. The Batman is at the plate, baby. Here's the first pitch. High and outside. Mason Miller is still in the game. Caratini does have a double today. Here's the 1-0 pitch. On the outside edge, strike one, 1-1. Oh man, I haven't had Brussels sprouts in a while. Those are good. I like Brussels sprouts. Here's a pitch. Little high. 102 miles an hour. Way up out of the zone. 2 balls and 1 strike. Two-one pitch from Miller on the way. 90 on the inside. Could have been ball 3. Swing and a miss. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Man, chicken fried steak sounds really, really, really good, but I'm telling you that the only way I'd be able to have it here is if I figure out a way to make it homemade, because there's nowhere you can buy it. And if I want gravy with my mashed potatoes, I'm going to have to try to find a way to import the gravy. This is hit hard into center field, but playable by Butler. He's underneath it, and he catches it casually. The way that he caught that ball, the way that he dresses, the way that he catches the ball, the way that he plays, he's the kind of player that the coaches would always be yelling at for not taking the game seriously enough. Christian Walker comes to the plate with 1 out, nobody on. 104 likes, only 104 viewers, only 67 likes. Walker pulls back from that first pitch, high and inside for ball 1. There's 2 things, guys, right here at the end of the game. Just a gentle reminder. If you haven't liked the live stream, please do so. That would be really nice. Here's the pitch. 102 right in the middle of the zone. Walker can't catch up to it with that swing. 1 ball, 1 strike. The other thing is, if you have not subscribed and you're an Astros fan, I appreciate you hitting the subscribe button. High, 103 miles an hour on that fastball. 2 balls and 1 strike to Walker. I do offer very cheap memberships on my channel to help support and sustain the channel, so those are appreciated. 102 miles an hour on the outside edge. Swing and a miss by Walker again. It seems like all he has to do really is just keep the fastballs coming and throw them in the zone. Walker has not been able to get the bat on it yet. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Cherry cobbler would be awesome, Paul. Another thing that you can't get here is cherry pie, cherry cobbler, any kind of pie, really. Maybe apple pie. 103 up and in, swing and a miss. Nothing but fastballs, basically, to Walker. And he strikes out. Swing and a miss. Walker can't catch up with any of those. 102.6 miles an hour on that pitch. Cam Smith, 0 for 3 today, comes to the plate with 2 outs in the bottom of the 9th. This is the last chance we have right here. 102 right in the middle of the zone. It looks like Mason Miller's game plan is to just throw everything over 100 miles an hour and see if they can hit it. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. 104 miles an hour. No kidding. 104 miles an hour exactly. 1 ball, 1 strike. Here's the pitch. Too far inside. 89 miles an hour on the slider. 2-1. The toy cannon. Altuve's the toy cannon. Here's a pitch. 103 in the lower outside corner, but the umpire lays off. 3 balls and 1 strike. Welcome from North Carolina, John. Ball outside, 103, just off the edge of the zone. Cam Smith manages a walk. So we have a guy on base with John Singleton coming up. Big John. Is John Singleton going to be able to muscle these 100 plus mile per hour fastballs over the fence? We'll see. Here comes the pitch. 88 mile per hour slider is the first pitch on the outside. Strike one. Cam Smith steals second base. They don't even throw the ball. They just don't care. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. Fouled off, 90 miles an hour on the inside. So a slider on the outside and then a slider on the inside. That one fouled off, but the count is 0-2. We are one strike away. That's right, Max. I'm just the messenger, but I will tell you what, for sure, it hurts my channel whenever the Astros don't do well. Low and outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes. It's crazy how that works, but it's kind of like gambling. When you're winning, you start betting more money, right? That's the way a lot of people think. They get emotional and they start betting more money. But whenever the Astros are losing, it's the opposite, right? Singleton fouls that one off, a 90 mile per hour slider. He hasn't thrown a single fastball right in there. He's just throwing sliders to Singleton. Come on, Singleton, we need you, baby. Show us a bat flip. Here's a 1-2 pitch with 2 outs. In the dirt. 95 mile per hour changeup. 2-2. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. Hit hard to center field. It's going to be a fly out. Butler's under it. Puts it away for out number 3. And that's it for the Astros. So, 1 walk, 1 stolen base, 1 runner stranded. 6 hits for the Astros and only 2 runs. They lose the opening game at home to the A's 5-2. And, yeah, this is Singleton's side gig, unfortunately. Maybe he's a full-time lounge lizard. Full-time karaoke lounge lizard. Yeah, maybe we need to regroup, lick our wounds. First day back at home, right? Maybe they need a little time to rest, relax, get calmed down. We're going to do a really quick summary. Whenever the Astros don't do well like this, there's not a whole lot to discuss. But we'll give it a quick once-over. Scoring summary real quick, guys, for those of you who are interested. First of all, thank you so much for being here today. Thank you for liking the live stream. New Astros fans that are joining us today, thank you for subscribing to the channel. Like I said before, if you want to help sustain the channel and keep it going, if you want to continue to have access to Astros live play-by-play, consider helping out by either donating or becoming a member, because that would help me to actually keep the channel going. There's no guarantee that I'm going to be able to do it for a couple of reasons, medical reasons and financial reasons, or maybe both. But I'm going to do my best to keep doing the Astros live play-by-play every single game. Geaux Stros. With your help, I think that we can do it. As long as I'm breathing and not in pain and I have enough cash, I will be here. Because electricity and internet must be paid. But I will tell you this. The Astros did not look too good today in their pitching or batting. It was a bummer on both ends. As you can see right here in the top of the second, the A's started off with a sacrifice fly, 1-0. In the top of the fourth, Schumann grounded into a fielder's choice, scoring another run, 2-0. Kurtz doubled right again in the top of the fourth, scoring Urshela. There was a nice play at home plate, though, where Schumann got thrown out. 3-0 A's. In the top of the fifth, the A's scored again when Langoliers hit another sacrifice fly. So if you notice what's happening here, if you look at this, sacrifice fly, fielder's choice, sacrifice fly, 3 of the A's runs came on sacrifices or fielder's choices. They were getting the traditional small ball done, and the Astros were not. In the top of the sixth, they would take a 5-0 lead when Urias homered to left center, the only homer of the day. And the Astros didn't look like they were going to get any runs on the board at all. And to the bottom of the seventh, finally, Walker hit a sacrifice fly to right field, scoring Altuve, making it 5-1. Then Cam Smith grounded out to third base, scoring Caratini 5-2. So the interesting thing about this game is that there were only 2 runs scored that came off of RBI hits, like just hits, not sacrifices or fielder's choices, but just straight out hits. Kurtz's double and Urias' home run. The rest of the runs in this game were all scored with fielder's choices and sacrifice flies. Pretty interesting. So out of the 7 runs scored, 5 of those were sacrifices or fielder's choices. That's pretty interesting. But anyway, let's move on to what we had in the lineup. Let's go down the Astros lineup right quick. I want to kind of show this to you guys. Can I move that over? There we go. Okay, I want you to see this. Trammell started off. He was the leadoff batter today. 3 for 4 with 3 singles. Wasted effort because he had most of the Astros hits today. Altuve had 1 hit, and Caratini had a hit. He had a double. So look at this. Our first 3 batters. Our first 3 batters actually were producing a little bit, but let's go down the list here. Christian Walker 0 for 3. Cam Smith 0 for 3. John Singleton 0 for 4. Dubon 0 for 3. Bryce Matthews 1 for 3. He got something at the end of the game. Zach Short 0 for 2. Diaz came in 0 for 1. Whitcomb didn't have an opportunity to bat. But basically, it was like everything from our cleanup position all the way down to our 9th batter. We had 0 production almost. Bryce Matthews with 1 hit. I mean, we had a couple of walks. No, actually, what were the walks? I don't think we had many walks. I know that Severino wasn't giving up walks. Let's see over here. Yeah, that's right. Mason Miller gave up 1 walk today. Severino gave up none. Kelly gave up none. And Miller gave up 1. So the bottom of the Astros batting order wasn't even able to get walks, really. It was just a terrible performance by the middle to lower half of the batting order. If the middle and lower half of the batting order for the Astros had been playing like the first 3 batters, we would have had 7 or 8 runs today. Pretty sad. But that's the way it is. Jason Alexander, as you see here, Alexander pitched 6 innings, gave up 11 hits, 5 runs. He only had 2 walks, but it didn't matter. They were lighting him up at the plate, just nickel and diming him, just chipping away, single, double, single, and then a homer. Just 3 strikeouts, 96 pitches and only 64 strikes. Very so-so. Hector Neris had 2 good innings. Surprisingly, 2 innings, just 1 hit, no earned runs, no walks, 2 strikeouts. Neris was solid for 2 innings. Okert came in, got a little shaky, but he didn't give up any hits, just 1 walk. So today was the opposite. We've been having problems recently with our relievers not getting it done where the starters are, but today was opposite. Our starter broke down, and our relievers got it done in 3 innings. So maybe we should have just had a bullpen game. Maybe that would have been for the best. That would have been for the best. Let's go back. We're going to do a quick preview of the game tomorrow. And then we'll take a look at any pertinent scores around the league right quick, and then we'll be out of here, okay? Put this behind us. Put this behind us. Tomorrow's game, same time as today's game. For me, it's 9:10 in the morning. But I'm in Japan, so there you go. So despite the Astros, once again, the Astros are predicted heavily to win, so of course they lose the game. And then when they're predicted heavily to lose, they win the game. So if you're betting, if you're a bettor, maybe you can look at the matchup predictor for the Astros, and whatever it says, you go against it, and you'll win a lot of money. That's what it seems like. But tomorrow, Jeffrey Springs is on the mound for the A's. As of now, it seems that the pitcher is still undecided for the Astros. So who knows? Who knows what's going on? The only thing left to do now besides check into the live chat is to see what's going on with the scoreboard around the league. Anything of note. The Angels are beating the Mariners right now 1-0 in the bottom of the 4th. That's good news. It's not a big lead, but hopefully they'll hang on to that, and we'll be able to stay ahead of the Mariners where we are right now. Let's go down here. The Blue Jays beat the crap out of the Tigers 11-4. And that's pretty much it for today. There's nothing else going on right now. Some other games later on, but that's all for the moment. Astros slip a little bit today, but that's the way it goes. You know, that's baseball. That's baseball. In the live chat here, yeah, DeLion, you saw the 95-mile-per-hour changeup. Pretty funny, huh? I thought that was funny, too. Yep. Paul, you're right. That's baseball. That's baseball. And there's another game tomorrow. The one who gets beat up today can destroy tomorrow. That's the way it works. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the Astros having a better effort tomorrow too, Crispy. Casey says, since when does Abreu not start? Do you mean Abreu coming in like in the 8th inning? Well, I think in this game it was unnecessary to have Abreu coming in. So it makes sense why they wouldn't use Abreu. Just let him rest today. If the game had been really close, maybe if we were down by 1 run or if it was tied or something like that, maybe we would use Abreu. But it makes sense if we're down by several runs that we would not use Abreu. Especially since Neris looked pretty good. He looked really good in the first inning that he pitched, so they left him in there for the second one, so it turned out to be a good decision. Jordan says the A's always look like they're trying so hard. Well, you know, they got a lot to prove, and can't blame them. Much respect to you, Doug. Thank you for being here. Jordan says, I'm still here thinking we're going to win. Hey, we had a chance. We had a chance. There's always a chance as long as there are more outs. But right now, the final out has been gotten, and the Astros are done. And yes, Trammell is becoming our bright spot. He has really improved a lot. He still has a ways to go, but I'm very happy to see the direction that he's going. Very happy about that. Disappointed in the recent cold streak of Cam Smith, but I am glad to see that he turned it around a little bit at the end of this game. Maybe we will see him light it up tomorrow. I certainly hope so. I certainly hope so. But I don't know who the pitcher is going to be for the Astros tomorrow. But whoever it is, I hope the Astros bats show up. Can't be worse than today, fingers crossed. Knock on wood. But thank you all for being here. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for the comments. Thank you for the subscriptions. Thank you for all of that, donations and everything. Thank you so much. Greatly appreciated. I've got a lot of work to do in my house today. Today's not a day off for me. I don't have anything else to do except try to get my rooms straightened out and get these floorboards pulled up so I can get to the foundation repair. Lots of work to do. It never ends around this house. But until it gets to a certain point, got to stay busy. Just like the Astros. There's always work to do right now, and got to stay busy, get it done. But that's it for today. The only thing that I have left to say, as usual, is Geaux Stros, and I will see you all tomorrow.